Khan Shalom. All praises to Yahawah Bashim Yashai Bashim Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Greatmillstone, and salutations to the whole electors pushing this truth is sincerity. So we're going to jump into this article. Nearly 30 fainting schoolgirls rushed to the hospital after playing with a Ouija board. Info on the students' diagnosis has not been revealed. However, many parents blame the in-school use of Ouija boards, also known as spirit or talking boards, which spells out messages in mysterious ways. So, for the ones that may not be known with the Ouija board, the Ouija board is actually an occult tool that is being used to get in contact with the dead, but in reality you get in contact with spirits, with demons. So the moment when you're trying to get in contact with these spirits, you invite them not only in your room, but you also invite them to enter into your body inside of your temple. So when a person gets this demon or these demons inside of them, they get possessed, and the possession can display itself in all type of ways. Vomiting. The spirit is fighting to have complete control over the body of the host. A person will scream. A person will be falling on the ground. A person will get suicidal thoughts. These are all just some examples of what you can expect when a person becomes possessed. So it says a group of nearly 30 girls were rushed to the hospital after playing with a Ouija board at the school in Colombia. The 28 youngsters passed out while using the seance set at Galera's educational institution in Pasto in the south of the country. There were 28 possible cases of anxiety in school students, said Hugo Torres, head of the Galera's educational institution in Galeras. So, info on the student's diagnosis has not been revealed. However, many parents blame the in-school use of Ouija boards, also known as spirit or talking boards, which spells out messages in mysterious ways. Created in the US in 1886, Ouija boards have become a fixture in occult lore due to their alleged ability to communicate with the dead and give paranormal activities to those who use them. And those paranormal activities take place when these entities, these spirits, they display themselves. The girls reportedly suffered signs of fainting, anxiety, and other symptoms as what? At the school before being admitted to the hospital. Mr. Torres continued, give the reported cases a series of comments were unreleased on the community that, rather than helping to resolve the situation, led to confusion and an adverse environment for our work. The students were referred to the local municipal hospital according to the protocols in place. Directors and teachers accompanied the students during the evaluation process. The respective parents and or guardians were informed of the information or the situation at the time. The school is waiting for the medical reports before providing an update on the incidents. Many parents believe the children have been using Ouija boards in class. So this is not no first thing trying a thing. This was taking place. This was a habitual thing that took place over there. One mother who works in hospital said she saw 3 or 4 children arrive after fainting. So she said, parents, you have to move, investigate what's happening at school, because our children cannot continue in this situation, and they damn sure can't. If a school is already occupied in allowing or actually stimulating the usage of a Ouija board, and actually doing this behind the back of the teachers, because if something like this is taking place, wouldn't the parents or already be aware of what is taking place? And apparently, parents knew. Parents heard about certain things taking place at the school, and they apparently seemed to allow it or whatever was taking place. That's crazy. So in November, okay, our children always have good breakfast, and it cannot be said that it was happening due to lack of food. And I covered this. I covered the situation where these children were playing with Ouija boards, and they also fainted. They also started to vomit. All the symptoms which display that a person is being possessed or being attacked by demons. That is what you see. Those symptoms display an attack or demons trying to enter and control the host, the body, the temple. But the same thing was being said. Those children got sick because of food poisoning, is what they said. But they've been playing with the Ouija board. So crazy stuff, man. It's truly demonic over there in America, man. In November, another group of teenagers in Colombia also collapsed after reporting using a Ouija board, with 5 taken to the hospital, according to the report. So, boom. And I'm not sure if I covered this one. You know, it says 11 children in Colombia collapsed at a school after playing with the Ouija board. You see, and this is in November the 12th, 2022. You know, in an extremely peculiar incident, the group of students collapsed at a school in Colombia after using a Ouija board to contact the dead. Understand, man, when you're trying to get in contact with a person that is deceased, you will get in contact with a demonic entity. You know, you will get in contact with all type of spirits, and most of the times these are evil spirits. You know, so just to the point, found 11 students aged to 13 to 17 passed out in the corridor. The students suffered violent vomiting, abdominal pain, and muscle spasms, the symptoms of a person being possessed by demons or being attacked by demons. Boom. Teachers, let me see. So teachers at the Agriculture Technical Institute in Hado are said to have found 11 students, like I already said. So this is not no new thing. You know, people play stupid games and they will get stupid prizes, man. You know. So let's go into a couple of scriptures about this whole situation, man. This is in the book of Sirach, chapter 3, verse 26. A stubborn heart shall fall evil at the last, and he that loveth danger shall perish therein. And this is what you will get. You know, if you like to play a dangerous game of tempting and provoking spirits, in most of the cases, these people don't understand what they truly are involved with. When you're trying to get in contact with spirits by the way of a Ouija board, you invite spirits, so you don't know which type of spirits you invite. You open up your house to enter or to allow demons to come in. And not only your house, not only your building, not only your school, not only your classroom, you yourself, your body is being opened for demons to enter in. The book of James, chapter 1, verse 13. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of the Most High. For the Most High cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempted he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Then when lust had conceived, it bringeth forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. You see, so this is truly a carnal mind, and it's a childish mind. You know, it is a childish mind. It doesn't understand foolishness. Let's get that, man, because it's truly foolish to play with something that you simply don't understand. You know, you lack understanding concerning the consequences of what you're doing, what you're actually involved in. That's the case with people, you know. And the end result can be even deadly. You might be possessed. A demon may be so heavy on these creatures that it is a suicidal demon, a demon that can convince somebody to grab a knife and to start stabbing people. This demonic entity can cause a person to jump off the building. This is what these spirits can do. And yet you got these children playing this game, trying to invite these type of spirits, man. It says in the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse verse 15. Foolishness is bound in the heart, in the mind of a child, but the rod of correction shall drive it far from them. You see, so foolishness is in the mind of these children. That's why discipline is a key thing. You got to teach them about the dangers of the tools and the devices which Satan is using on this earth. You know, because the Ouija board is a device which pertains onto the left-hand side. It is a left-hand side, an occultist device, you know, used by witches, used by sorcerers, and these are magicians or warlocks on a level. You know, a person that is not on a level is not supposed to. First of all, I don't advise you taking part of anything of this. But those that are occupied with the usage of a Ouija board, those are skillful. You know, those are on a whole other level in order to get in contact with these spirits, man. So a person that doesn't know what he or she is doing, you're just stepping into something that is a straight up suicide. The book of Ephesians chapter 6 verse 10, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the spirit of his might. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. You know, you got to put on the whole battle equipment, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, the protection, the faith, the courage, you know, and the connection with the Most High through the Spirit, in order to stand and to conquer these type of temptations, these type of trials of testing you. You know, because the easiest thing that a person can do is just go along with the class. Just because the masses of the class is doing something doesn't mean that you gotta go along with it, man. The book of Exodus chapter 23 verse 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to rest judgment. Just because a huge amount of children, girls or students are doing something does not mean that you should just blindly go along with doing these things, you know. Boom. So the wiles, these are tricks. It says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So you gotta understand that everything that is taking place on this earth is spiritual. You got angels on the right hand side, and you got demons. Demons messing up the mind of the people, steering them, causing them to do things, and they're actually demonically possessed. So there's continually a war taking place on this earth. The book of 2 Corinthians chapter 10, starting at verse 3. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High, to the pulling down of strongholds. There's a war taking place, light versus darkness. And the moment when you take on the Ouija board, you open up onto darkness. You know, you might just think like, well, but it's just a game. We're only trying to find out if this is real. Well, you will find out it's real. You will find out that these forces are real. You will find out that these demonic entities are real. When you get attacked and when you get possessed, when your ass is being moved, rushed towards the hospital, that will be the moment that you will understand these entities are real. When an entity will enter inside of your body or in your house and plaguing and tormenting you, and there's nothing you can do because you don't have the faith, the connection with the Most High to cast these spirits out of your house. You know, it says, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing it into the captivity, every thought to the obedience of Mashiach. and having a readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. So there's a spiritual warfare continually taking place. The right hand side and the left hand side. Light versus darkness. I actually want to show the situation where ex-King Saul summed up Samuel. Because it's a thing like this kind of took place. It is kind of the same, the summoning up by the way of a seance. But ex-King Saul wanted to get in contact with Samuel for answers concerning what should be the next move. I want to show you this thing. Let's get that, man. First Samuel. And understand, the Lord is against this, man. The Lord is soul and the spirit medium. So a spirit medium. A medium is a person that is forecasting, telling you things, that can get you in contact with people, or can tell you certain things about your life or whatever. How? By the way of the spirit, by the way of an entity. And this entity is an intelligence. This entity can give and share information, you know. So I'll just go to the point. Boom. It says, then, verse 7, then Saul said unto the servant, seek unto me a woman that had a familiar spirit. What is a familiar spirit? An entity which is giving information about someone, which can get you in contact with someone, you know. It's just a witch, you know, because it's a woman. A woman is a witch. A male witch is called a warlock. It says that I may go to her and inquire of her. And his servant said unto him, behold, there is a woman that had a familiar spirit at Endor. And Saul disguised himself and put on the raiment, and he went, and 2 men with him. And they came to the woman by night, and he said, I pray thee, divine, which means forecast, tell me, divine unto me by the familiar spirit, and bring me up whom I shall name unto thee. So get me in contact with the person that I'm about to mention by the way of that spirit that you have, so that you can divine. Use your sorcery, use your occult magic to bring me in contact with Samuel. That was actually what Saul, ex-King Saul, was demanding from the woman. And the woman said, behold, thou knowest what Saul had done, because Saul, ex-King Saul, had put out a decree that all these things were not allowed. And, you know, all sorcery, familiar spirits and all those things, we're not allowed. And that's according to the script. You know, that's the law in the Bible. You're not supposed to be occupied in the left hand side. You know, it's all sorcery. It says spiritism is forbidden. Deuteronomy 18 verse 9. When thou art come into the land which the Lord Yahawah thy power giveth thee, thou should not learn to do after the abominations of those nations, because these heathen nations are occupied in spiritism. You know, even the modern day spiritism forms that you have today upon this earth, trying to get in contact, or what type of drugs they use to open up and to allow spirits to enter inside of you. This is not allowed for the children of Israel. It says, there shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his sons or his daughters to go through the fire, which are sacrifices, which took place back in the time by the way of sacrificing unto Baal, or unto Moloch. Even our people were enticed in doing these things, bowing down and serving idols and sacrificing their children. These things are taking place again upon this earth, but it's more sophisticated, it's more hidden, but it's taking place. It says, or that use a divination, an observer of times, or an enchanter, or witch, or charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or wizard, or necromancer. None of these things are allowed by the Heavenly Father. It says, for all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord. And because of these abominations, the Lord thy power power doth drive them out from before thee. Thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy power. For these nations which thou shalt possess hearkened unto observers of times and unto diviners. But as for thee, the children of Israel, the Lord thy power had not suffered thee to do. So the Lord didn't allow us to do any of these things. This goes against the law of the Most High. Boom. So the decree that Saul established was actually righteous, but then he went against his own decree to get answers from Samuel, because the Lord was not answering Saul, ex-King Saul, anymore. Because ex-King Saul disobeyed the Most High, and the Spirit of the Lord departed from ex-King Saul. Boom, boom, boom. It says, and the woman said unto him, Behold, thou knowest what Saul had done, the decree, how he had cut off those that have familiar spirits and wizards out of the land. Wherefore then layest thou a snare for my life to cause me to die? Yeah, because now you're actually asking something which is against the decree. This may cost me my life. What are you doing? Why are you trying to snare me? Is what she said. And Saul sware to her by the Lord, saying, As the Lord liveth, there shall no punishment happen to thee for this thing. Then said the woman, Who shall I bring unto thee? And he said, Bring me up Samuel. And when the woman saw Samuel, she cried with a loud voice. And the woman spake to Saul, saying, Why hast thou deceived me? For thou art Saul. And the king said unto her, Be not afraid, for what sawest thou? And the woman said unto Saul, I saw gods ascending out of the earth. And he said unto her, What form is he? And she said, An old man cometh up, and he is covered with a mantle. And Saul perceived that it was Samuel, and he stooped with his face to the ground and bowed himself. So listen closely to what Samuel is going to say, because this is very profound. When a person actually passes away, a person is at rest. And when Samuel, through the way of this witch from Endor, made contact with Samuel, he actually disquieted his rest, his peace. And Samuel said to Saul, Why hast thou disquieted me to bring me up? And Saul answered, I am sore distressed, for the Philistines make war against me, and God is departed from me, and answered me no more, neither by prophets nor by dreams. Therefore I have called thee, that thou mayest make known unto me what I shall do. Then said Samuel, Wherefore then dost thou ask of me, seeing the Lord is departed from thee, and is become thine enemy? So when the Lord departs from you, and is not answering, not doing anything, then the Lord becomes your enemy. And that's the reason why, the reason why the Lord departed from Samuel is because he disobeyed. There was a decree given out about how to deal with Amalek, and he didn't follow the obedience of the Most High. So King David became the appointed king for Israel. It says, And the Lord had done to him as he spake by me. For the Lord had rent the kingdom out of his hand, and given it to his neighbor, even to David, because thou obeyest not the voice of the Lord. You see, obedience is a key thing. You got to obey the Heavenly Father, man. And many of our people unto this very same day are just disobedient and disregarding the mercy that is actually being extended towards them. Nor executest his fierce wrath upon Amalek, which is the head tribe of the nation of Edom, Edom. Therefore, which are the fake Jews in our holy land today. Therefore had the Lord done this thing unto thee this day. Moreover, the Lord will also deliver Israel with thee into the hand of the Philistines. And tomorrow shalt thou and thy two sons and thy sons be with me. The Lord also shall deliver the host of Israel in the hand of the Philistines. Meaning, Samuel already appointed and let him know, like, the Philistines are coming, and you're going to die, and your sons are going to die too. You're going up. You will be in this resting place together tomorrow. So, boom, going on, the book of Isaiah chapter 8 verse 19. And when they shall say unto you, Seek unto them that had familiar spirits, and unto wizards that peep and that mutter, should not a people seek unto their power for the living to the dead? Yeah, you should be calling upon Yahawah Bashim Yoshai, and not upon a wizard, a warlock, a medium, a necromancer, or whatever that it is that these people do. A tarot card reader, a horoscope. All those things is by the way of the left hand side. You know, it says in the book of Psalm 78 verse 49, he cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath and indignation, and trouble by sending evil angels among them. The Lord can send evil angels, man. When you see people being possessed, going to the mall, they say there's a spirit, a voice in their head told them that they had to go to the mall with a machine gun and they had to pump bullets in all these people. That is an evil spirit, a demonic entity causing people to do what they do. When you see people sitting and they're grabbing a razor blade or a standing mess and they cutting in their wrist, and they tell you these spirits telling them that voices are telling them that they need to do these things. Those are demons. You know, you got demons that convince people to go in a building or to be straight up suicidal, doing things, jumping in front of a train, taking a huge amount of pills, overdosing themselves. You know, all these things are taking place on this earth, and the Heavenly Father is bringing it upon them by the way of judgment, man. It says all things possible. So this is a beautiful example in the script that is going to display how a person is possessed and what the symptoms are when a person is possessed by demons. And you do the math if those children that have been rushed to the hospital are possessed by demons. It says in the book of Mark chapter 9 verse 14, and when he came to the disciples, he saw a great multitude about him, and the scribes questioning with them, and straightway all the people, when they beheld him, were greatly amazed, and running to him saluted him. And he asked the scribes, what question ye with them? It says, and one of the multitude answered and said, Master, I brought unto thee my son, which had a dumb spirit. A dumb spirit is an entity which is causing a person not to speak. There's actually a mute. You know, this person may move their mouth, but they cannot utter words. You know, this is also a demonic entity that is causing a person not to be able to speak. It says, and wheresoever he taketh him, he teareth him, and he vomit. Again, and wheresoever he taketh him, he teareth him, and he vomit, and gnasheth with his teeth, and pineth away. And he spake to thy disciples that they should cast him out, and they could not. So this is a high level demon, man. These are high level demons, and when you go into vomit, you know. Let's get this, man. Because this demon is going to fight, going to tear them, drop them on the ground. They're going to scream. You know, it is as if they're dying, that they're burning, as if something is burning and attacking, and that's taking place. You know, the spirit is attacking from the inner. You know, from the outside, you may not understand what is truly taking place. But there's an inner battle, there's a war taking place in the temple inside of the body, and it's spiritual.
Strong's G, 875. Afrizo.
It says to foam. It says to froth at the mouth in epilepsy. You see? That's why many a times you see them also drop on the ground and they start to shake as if they have an epileptic episode. And even an epileptic episode is to be linked onto a demonic entity. Let's go on. It says, boom. He answered him and said, O faithless generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him unto me. The lack of faith was the reason why they couldn't cast off these demons from this child. It says, and they brought him unto him, and when he saw him, straightway the spirit tear him, because these spirits know the authority. They know the Most High, they know Yahawashi, they know the true man of the Lord. So the moment when the spirit saw Yahawashi, they started to battle even more, because it's to conquer or to be conquered. That's what it is. It's to conquer or to be conquered. So the battle, everything was given in order to completely control the body, to control the child. It says, the spirit tear him, and he fell on the ground and bellowed, foaming. Yeah, because this is the last thing. Everything is given by the entity to control it. And he asked his father, how long is it ago since this came unto him? And he said, of a child. And oftentimes it had cast him into the fire and into the waters to destroy him. You see, so the spirit can force a person to be thrown in the fire, but also in the water. It says, but if thou canst do anything, have compassion on us and help us. So they have supplications, they beg, and they hope Yahawashi to have pity upon them. Yahawashi said unto him, if thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. Your faith makes you whole. Your faith, your belief in the Lord is what can heal you, you know? And straightway is what can heal you through the Redeemer, because you believe in the healer, you believe in the physician. You got to believe in him. If you don't believe, then his power cannot protect or heal or make you wholesome. It says, and straightway the father of the child cried and said with tears, Lord, I believe, help thou mine unbelief. I believe, but please help me to increase if my belief is not strong or accordingly. When Yahawashi saw the people, that the people came running together, he rebuked the foul spirit, saying unto him, thou dumb, which is a spirit that cannot speak, and deaf spirit, a spirit that is causing a person to be deaf so that you cannot hear. I charge thee, come out of him and enter no more into him. So he actually executed an exorcism and casted these entities out of this young boy, or son, or this man, young man. So this is a son. And the spirit cried and rent him sore and came out of him. And he was as one dead, insomuch that many said he is dead. Because the inner battle was next level, you know. This is not just one demon. This is a whole legion of demon, which was responsible for causing a person to be a mute, not able to speak, but also to be deaf. And the Lord Yahawashi casted off the spirit. And you know, the son, that child, was on the ground, and people was looking around and thinking like, man, that boy is dead, he is dead. But Yahawashi took him by the hand and lifted him up, and he arose. Boom. You know, so this is actually a beautiful way to end it. These spirits are real, and the Lord is going to unleash them on our enemies, man. Let's end up with that. They are spirits created for vengeance. You know, you really think that the Lord, that you can play games with the Most High. The last thing that you should do is provoke and tempt the Most High. Because when the Lord will open fire upon you, he can send these type of demons, these type of entities towards you. And there's nothing you can do against that. The book of Sirach, chapter 39, verse 26, 28. There be spirits, there are entities, there are demons, there are angels, and demons are on the left-hand side. An evil angel is a demonic entity that is said to cause confusion or to cause damage or steer you into self-destruction. There be spirits that are created for vengeance. So the Lord is the one that will execute vengeance on all the enemies of righteousness. You know, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. The Most High created these entities. All of them obey the Heavenly Father. Everything that takes place on the globe is by the will of the Lord. You know, so when the Lord will send these angels towards you, boy, it says fire and hail. So you got fire spirits. You know, you got demons, entities that can also bring destruction by the way of the elements, famine and death. All these were created for what? For vengeance. Thief of wild beasts. The Heavenly Father can put the spirits, entities to enter into pit bulls. And these pit bulls will break free out of the garden of a person, and they will attack, they will devour, they will maul a person to pieces. Many a times you hear these stories. 4-year-old child playing outside, 4 pit bulls mauling this child to death. That's judgment of the Most High, you know. And scorpions and serpents, and the sword punishing who? Punishing the wicked to destruction. These are examples of death for the wicked. It says, they shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is, and when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word, because these are the spiritual hitmen of the Most High. These spirits are more than willing to do the bidding of the Most High. They're just standing there, rubbing their hands like, "Can send me, I wanna. They just want to do the works of the Most High, you know. That's why the scripture says it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. All praises to Yahawah. Shalom.